Christmas Village Quest. On a cold Christmas Eve, Amy lay in bed, looking out at the thick snow outside. She made a wish to the starry sky. This year, she wanted to see Santa Claus in person. Her heart was filled with anticipation and excitement. Just then, she heard a creaking noise on the roof. Amy hurried out of her room and saw a small figure falling from the roof into the snow. It was a little elf in a green robe, looking a bit lost and confused. "Oh, who are you?" Amy asked curiously. "I'm Phil, a male elf from Christmas Village. I've lost my way," the little elf said somewhat embarrassedly. Amy warmly invited Phil inside and prepared a cup of hot cocoa for him. They sat by the fireplace, and Phil told her how he got lost while delivering mail. "So, what are you going to do now?" Amy asked. "I need to find my way back to Christmas Village, but this forest is so big I don't know which way to go," Phil said, looking a bit disheartened. Amy's eyes lit up. She had an idea. "I'll help you. We can find the way home together." Thus, Amy and Phil embark on a journey to find Christmas Village. Their first stop was the snow-covered forest. In the forest, they met a talking snowman. "Hey, what are you looking for?" the snowman asked in its deep voice. "We're looking for the way to Christmas Village," Amy replied. "Christmas Village? Ah, that's a magical place. Follow this road, then turn left at the big pine tree and you'll find a path to Christmas Village." The snowman pointed to a path. Amy and Phil continued on their way. Along the road, they met a group of singing reindeer. "Are you going to Christmas Village? We can take you part of the way," the reindeer said happily. "That would be great!" Amy exclaimed excitedly. They followed the reindeer for a while until the reindeer had to turn onto another road. "Keep going forward and you'll be close," the reindeer said as they parted. Just as they were about to reach Christmas Village, they encountered a mischievous elf. "Hey, where are you going?" the elf asked with a sly smile. "We're going to Christmas Village," Amy replied. "Oh, then you should go this way." The elf pointed to a seemingly correct path, but Phil immediately realized it was wrong. "No, that way will get us lost. We should go this way," Phil said firmly. Sure enough, following Phil's directions, they eventually found the secret passage to Christmas Village. In Christmas Village, Amy and Phil were warmly welcomed. They toured the gift factory and met Santa Claus. Santa thanked Amy for helping his little elf and invited her to a Christmas dinner. At the dinner, Amy shared her adventure, and everyone applauded her. Amy realized that she had learned a lot from this journey. Most importantly, that the true meaning of Christmas is not just about receiving gifts, but about sharing, caring, and helping others. After bidding farewell to Christmas Village, Amy returned home with a heart full of memories. Her heart was filled with love and warmth. That Christmas, Amy received the most precious gift of her life: friendship and love. Christmas lights in the city. In the bustling streets of a modern city, the atmosphere of Christmas was gradually thickening. Neon lights flickered, and the street corners were adorned with colorfully decorated Christmas trees. In this city, filled with festive air, lived a young girl named Emily. Emily was a passionate community volunteer. Each Christmas, she participated in organizing community events, helping those in need. She had a kind heart, always thinking about how to make the world a better place. This Christmas, Emily decided to do something different. She wanted to organize a special event aimed at helping lonely elders to have a warm Christmas. She wanted to let these elderly people feel the care and warmth of society. Emily began planning her project. She contacted local nursing homes and learned that many elders were alone during Christmas. She also reached out to other community volunteers to discuss how to prepare an unforgettable Christmas for these elders. A few days later, Emily and the other volunteers got busy. They decorated the hall of the nursing home with colorful lights and Christmas decorations. They also organized a special Christmas dinner, inviting all the elders to participate. At the dinner, Emily arranged some programs, including singing Christmas songs and some lighthearted games. Seeing the smiles on the elders' faces, Emily felt very fulfilled and happy. These smiles were her best Christmas gift. As the dinner was about to end, Emily noticed an elder sitting alone in a corner. He looked lonely and hardly interacted with others. Emily approached him and sat beside him, striking up a conversation. The elder's name was George. He told Emily that since his wife passed away, he spent every Christmas alone. Hearing this, Emily's heart was filled with sympathy. She decided to make George's Christmas different. She invited George to join the rest of the dinner and encouraged him to participate in the games. Initially hesitant, George gradually relaxed under Emily's encouragement. Soon, he started laughing and even chatting with other elders. That night, when Emily returned home, her heart was filled with warmth and satisfaction. She realized that Christmas is not just about receiving gifts, but about giving, about spreading love and care to others. From then on, Emily organized similar events every year, helping lonely elders to have a warm Christmas. Her actions inspired more and more people to join the ranks of volunteers, contributing to the community together. This story is not just about Christmas. It's about love, hope, and giving. It reminds us that even in this fast-paced modern society, we can still find ways to bring warmth and care to those in need. The Star of Winter Village. In a remote snow-covered village, winter was always long and cold, but come Christmas, the village would turn warm and joyous. Every household in the village lit up colorful lights, preparing to welcome the annual Christmas celebration. Among them was a little girl named Ella, with golden hair and bright blue eyes, known as the village's little angel. Ella's family was poor, but she had a kind heart. Her father was a hard-working carpenter, and her mother worked in a small village shop. Despite their hardships, Ella never complained. However, every Christmas, when she saw other children receiving gifts, she felt a bit down, knowing her parents couldn't afford to buy her presents. One Christmas Eve, Ella lay in bed, gazing at the stars outside her window, and made a wish. She hoped to meet the legendary Santa Claus and bring joy and warmth to the entire village. The next day, Ella decided to embark on a journey to find Santa Claus. She put on her warmest coat and quietly left her home. Following the guidance of the North Star, Ella traversed through dense snow forests. She braved the cold wind and faced various challenges. In a deep forest, Ella encountered a talking snow deer. The deer told her that to find Santa Claus, she must pass 3 tests of courage, wisdom, and love. The first test was to cross a dark and frightening cave. Ella mustered her courage and stepped into the cave. Despite the cold and darkness, she did not give up and eventually emerged from the cave. The second test was a complicated maze. Ella, with her wit, observed every corner and mark and finally found the path to the exit. The third test was on a snow-covered meadow where Ella found an injured rabbit. She stopped, bandaged the rabbit's wound with her scarf, and brought it to a safe place. Ella's kindness and love helped her pass the last test. After passing the 3 tests, Ella finally found Santa Claus's home. Santa was touched by Ella's courage, wisdom, and love and granted her wish. Ella returned to the village with a magical gift from Santa. When she opened the gift, the entire village was covered in beautiful light, and every family received presents from Santa, filling the village with joy and warmth. From then on, Ella became the village's little hero. Every Christmas, she helped those in need, spreading warmth and hope with her kindness and love. Ella's story became a beautiful legend in the village, teaching everyone the importance of courage, wisdom, and love. Her journey proved that even in the most challenging times, these 3 valuable qualities could bring about change and hope. This story is more than just a Christmas fairy tale. It teaches us that no matter the circumstances, with courage, wisdom, and love, we can overcome difficulties and make life better. Ella's story became an eternal light in the village, illuminating every child's heart and inspiring them to pursue dreams and spread love and hope. Nortistisch, Stmain Chang Setting Shrifst. Leichtadin so low. In a futuristic technology city, neon lights and skyscrapers together painted a bustling scene. In a quiet corner of this city lived a clever little girl named Alara. She had black curly hair and a pair of curious blue eyes. Alara's room was filled with various machines and devices she had made herself, each corner showcasing her love for technology. Alara's best friend was a robotic dog she had made herself, named Lightning. Lightning's body shone with silver brilliance, and it could talk, fly, and even transform. Its eyes were like 2 dazzling sapphires, always shining with intelligence and loyalty. One day, while Alara was repairing a small flying machine in her room, Lightning suddenly exclaimed, "Alara, listen! There's an urgent message on the radio." The voice on the radio was serious and urgent. "Attention, all citizens! Our energy core is about to be depleted, and the entire city may face a power outage crisis." Hearing this message, Alara immediately put down her tools, her expression turning serious. "We need to do something to help the city," she said. "I remember Grandpa once mentioned an ancient legend about an eternal energy crystal, a source of endless energy." Filled with determination, Alara and Lightning immediately headed to the city's great library. There, they browsed through many ancient books and archives, hoping to find clues about the eternal energy crystal. After hours of searching, Alara found some key information on a yellowed page of an old book. The book describes how an ancient civilization used this inexhaustible crystal as a source of energy. Following the clues from the book, Alara and Lightning's next destination was a set of ancient ruins on the edge of the city. This site was once part of the ancient civilization. Deep within the ruins, they discovered a hidden cave entrance with mysterious symbols on the walls leading to the depths underground. They cautiously entered the cave, finding it filled with complex mechanical traps and intellectual challenges. During their perilous explorations, Alara and Lightning avoided one trap after another, thanks to their wisdom and courage. In a particularly dangerous moment, Alara was almost caught by a suddenly activated mechanical arm, but luckily Lightning transformed into a small flying machine just in time to save her. Alara hugged Lightning tightly, saying with relief, "Thank goodness you were here, Lightning." After overcoming numerous challenges, they finally reached a huge underground chamber. There, they were surprised to find a glowing crystal, the legendary Eternal Energy Crystal. Suddenly, an ancient robot emerged from the darkness, its eyes flickering in the dim light. Only a heart that is pure and brave can use this crystal, the robot's voice echoed in the vast chamber. Alara gathered her courage and firmly replied, "We are willing to accept your test. Our city needs this crystal. We want to save everyone." After a series of tests, the robot acknowledged Alara and Lightning's courage and purity of heart and entrusted the crystal to them. Returning to the city with the crystal, Alara and Lightning quickly installed it in the city's energy core. The power of the crystal reactivated the energy core, and the city's lights shone brightly once again. The city's inhabitants cheered and thanked Alara, but she knew that without Lightning's help, she could not have accomplished all this. From then on, Alara and Lightning became heroes of the city, continuing their inventions and adventures. Their story inspired every child to bravely explore the unknown, believe in their abilities, and cherish the deep friendship between friends. This story is not only about adventure and challenges, but also a hymn to friendship, wisdom, and creativity, igniting the limitless imagination and exploratory spirit of children. Sophie's Christmas Wish. In a bustling metropolis, there was a quiet neighborhood where residents were friendly and kind. Among them lived a little girl named Sophie, with curly black hair and curious brown eyes. Sophie was intelligent and inquisitive, always fascinated by the world around her. Sophie's father was a busy businessman, and her mother was a doctor. As her parents were often occupied with work, Sophie spent most of her time with her grandparents. Despite missing her parents, she loved her grandparents dearly, who would tell her interesting stories and teach her to bake delicious pastries. Every Christmas, Sophie's parents tried to make time to celebrate with her. They would decorate the Christmas tree together, bake cookies, and sing carols. However, this Christmas, Sophie's parents told her they couldn't come home due to their demanding work schedules. This was a huge blow to Sophie. Her long-awaited Christmas suddenly lost its charm, leaving her feeling disappointed and lonely. Seeing Sophie so upset, her grandparents came up with a plan to make her Christmas more special. They decided to help Sophie fulfill a Christmas wish. Sophie wished for a special Christmas gift, just like other children. Her grandparents took her to the city's large shopping center, which hosted a famous Santa's grotto. There, children could meet Santa Claus and share their Christmas wishes. Excitedly, Sophie joined the long queue, waiting to meet Santa. When it was her turn, she nervously approached and sat on Santa's lap. Santa asked Sophie what her Christmas wish was. She looked down and whispered, "I wish my mom and dad could come home for Christmas." Santa hugged Sophie with a smile and mysteriously told her that Christmas was a magical time when anything could happen. Sophie returned home with a glimmer of hope. In the following days, Sophie and her grandparents busied themselves preparing for Christmas. They decorated the house and made a Christmas dinner. Although Sophie tried to cheer up, she still felt a void in her heart. Finally, Christmas Eve arrived. Sophie, dressed in her prettiest Christmas attire, sat with her grandparents by the fireplace, awaiting Santa's arrival. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Sophie ran to open it, and to her astonishment, found her parents standing outside. Sophie joyfully embraced her parents, tears welling up in her eyes. Her parents, having learned about Sophie's wish, decided to come home against all odds for Christmas. This Christmas turned out to be the most special and heartwarming one Sophie ever had. From that year on, Sophie's parents prioritized their family more. They realized that no matter how important work was, family always came first. Sophie also learned to cherish every moment with her family. This story is more than just a tale about Christmas. It teaches us the importance and value of family. It reminds us that in today's fast-paced society, we should spend more time with our loved ones, enjoying each other's company. Sophie's story became a cherished memory in the neighborhood, inspiring every family to treasure their time together and create more warm and joyful memories. Philly's dream to fly. In a distant forest, home to a variety of happy animals, the beauty of the lush trees, clear streams, and colorful flowers was unparalleled. The animals lived in harmony, and every Christmas they held a special celebration. Among them, a beloved little fox named Philly was particularly admired. Philly had bright red fur and sparkling eyes. Known as the fastest runner in the forest, he often helped other animals with their problems. However, Philly harbored a dream. He longed to fly like the birds in the sky. As Christmas approached, the forest animals began to prepare for the celebration. They decorated the Christmas tree, prepared a festive feast, and rehearsed for the Christmas performance. Philly, too, wanted to do something special this year. He decided to perform a unique flight show for everyone on Christmas Day. To achieve this, Philly started to craft a special flying apparatus. He collected leaves, feathers, and branches to create a pair of light wings. Despite many challenges in the process, he never gave up. The day before Christmas Eve, Philly's flying apparatus was finally ready. Eager to test it, he leaped from a tree under the moonlight, flapping his homemade wings. Initially clumsy and nearly falling, he soon learned to control the wings and began soaring through the air. Philly flew over the forest, experiencing an unprecedented sense of freedom and joy. He circled in the air, performing various stunts. The animals on the ground watched in awe, applauding Philly's courage and creativity. On Christmas Day, Philly showcased his flying show to all the animals. He flew higher and faster, resembling a real bird. The animals cheered for him, proud of his bravery and ingenuity. That Christmas, Philly not only realized his dream, but also inspired all the animals to pursue their dreams bravely. They realized that with courage and creativity, nothing was impossible. From then on, every Christmas in the forest was more joyful and exciting than ever. The animals helped each other, creating a community full of love and laughter. Philly's story spread throughout the forest, becoming a legend that inspired every animal to chase their dreams and believe in the impossible. The story is more than just a tale about Christmas. It is a narrative of courage, creativity, and dreams. It teaches us that whether human or animal, we all have the power to transcend ourselves and realize our wildest dreams. Philly's story became an eternal light in the forest, illuminating the hearts of all animals and inspiring them to create a better world. In the following years, the forest animals began to look forward to Christmas each year. They not only celebrated the holiday, but also shared their stories and dreams. Christmas became a symbol of unity and mutual support. Each year's celebration brought new surprises and creativity, filling the forest with laughter and joy. Philly continued his adventures and explorations. He became not only a master of flight, but also a sage of the forest. Using his experiences and wisdom, he helped other animals solve problems and encouraged them to pursue their dreams. He became a true leader and friend in the forest. As time passed, Philly's story was passed down in the forest, becoming a beloved legend. Every Christmas, the animals gathered to tell Philly's story, reminding themselves to be brave, innovative, and dreamy like Philly. Philly not only changed his own life, but also inspired the animals of the forest, making their lives better and more meaningful. The story is a warm tale about courage, dreams, and community spirit. It tells how a little fox, through his efforts and creativity, realized an impossible dream and motivated his community to aim for greater goals. Philly's story became an eternal source of inspiration, teaching every animal who heard it that no matter the difficulty, with courage and creativity, one can realize dreams and bring positive change to the world around them. The Christmas Miracle of Wimbley Town. In a distant small town named Wimbley, a magical event occurred every Christmas. The residents of this town firmly believed in the existence of Santa Claus. They held that every Christmas Eve, Santa would arrive with gifts for every child, bringing surprises and joy. The children of Wimbley eagerly anticipated Christmas each year. They wrote letters to Santa Claus, sharing their Christmas wishes. These letters would be placed under the large Christmas tree in the town center, and it was said that Santa would collect them on Christmas Eve. In this town lived a little girl named Amy, known for her vivid imagination and kindness. She was curious about the world and always had many questions. Amy's parents, who adored her, would prepare a special gift for her every Christmas. However, this year's Christmas was different for Amy. Her father had to leave town for a business trip and couldn't be home for Christmas. Amy dearly missed her father and wished for Santa to bring him home on Christmas Day. Amy wrote her wish and placed the letter under the Christmas tree. As Christmas drew near, the town was imbued with the festive spirit. Streets were strung with lights and shops were filled with Christmas decorations. The residents were busy preparing for the Christmas dinner and festivities. Finally, Christmas Eve arrived. The children, excited, lay in their beds, awaiting Santa's visit. Amy was no exception. She snuggled in her bed, eyes closed, praying for her wish to come true. Suddenly, there was a jingle of bells outside. Amy rushed to the window and saw a sleigh adorned with colorful lights parked in front of her house. On the sleigh sat an old man in a red coat and flowing beard, the legendary Santa Claus. Santa Claus, smiling, stepped off the sleigh and knocked on Amy's door. Amy ran to open it, and to her surprise, not only Santa was there, but also her father. Santa, having received Amy's letter, had gone out of his way to bring her father home for Christmas. Amy hugged her father tightly, tears brimming in her eyes. This Christmas turned out to be the most special one for her. Her wish was fulfilled and her family was reunited. From then on, Amy believed even more in Santa Claus. She knew that as long as the heart is filled with love and hope, nothing is impossible. Every Christmas, Amy would write to Santa, telling him about her curiosity about the world and her dreams for the future. Amy's story spread throughout the town, becoming a beautiful legend. The children of Wimbley believed that as long as they sincerely wished for Santa, their dreams would one day come true. The story is not just about Christmas. It teaches us the power of belief. It tells us that no matter what difficulties we face, as long as we have love in our hearts, miracles can happen. Amy's story became an eternal memory of Wimbley Town, inspiring every child to pursue their dreams and believe in the wonderful things that can unexpectedly happen. As time passed, Amy grew up but always remembered that special Christmas Eve. She told her children this story, teaching them to believe in life's miracles and to have love and hope. Every Christmas, Amy would lead her children to the large Christmas tree in the town center, where they would write their wishes, continuing this beautiful tradition. Amy's story, like the Christmas lights of Wimbley Town, forever shone brightly, warming everyone's heart. It reminds us that in this world, as long as there is love, nothing is impossible. The most special gift. The Arctic village was a magical and beautiful place, especially during the Christmas season. Snow-covered mountains, twinkling stars, and falling snowflakes created an enchanting scene. In this cold land, Santa and his elves were busy preparing for Christmas. The workshop was their hub of activity, filled with laughter and the bustling sounds of gift-making. The elves had clear tasks. Some made toys, others wrapped gifts, and some prepared food for the reindeer, while Santa checked the list to ensure every child would receive their present. This year's special gift was a box of magical, colorful candies. Said to bring a year of good luck and happiness, Santa planned to give them to Susie, a very optimistic girl in the village. Despite a tough year, she always smiled, spreading warmth and joy. On Christmas Eve, everything was ready. Santa carefully wrapped the candies in a small red bag, planning to deliver them to Susie at midnight. But as he was about to leave, he discovered the candies were missing. "Oh no, the special candies are gone," Santa exclaimed in worry. Despite searching everywhere, the candies seemed to have vanished. The elves were also startled by this sudden event. They searched the workshop, checking every corner, but found nothing. "We can't disappoint Susie. We must find those candies," declared Santa. He donned his red coat and hat, calling upon his most loyal reindeer. "My dear friends, we must find the candies," Santa said, and the reindeer eagerly agreed. Thus, they embarked on a magical, Christmas adventure, searching for the missing candies to bring joy to Susie. They flew over snowy mountains and vast plains, facing various adventures and challenges along the way. The journey began under a peaceful sky, bathed in moonlight. However, the weather soon turned wild. A sudden blizzard struck, with heavy snow and howling winds drastically reducing visibility. Santa and the reindeer bravely pushed through the storm, relying on their trust and understanding to navigate the fierce blizzard. Despite the challenging adventure, their spirits remained unshaken. They encouraged and supported each other, overcoming nature's challenges with resilience and perseverance. After the storm calmed down, they continued their quest under a peaceful sky. Finally, in a beautiful snow village, they found the missing candies with a playful snowman who was dancing and eating them. "Hey, those are my candies!" Santa exclaimed joyfully. The snowman, startled, apologized, not knowing they belonged to Santa. He had been tempted by their delicious appearance. Santa, not angry, smiled. "It's okay, friend. Candies are meant to be shared." They sat together, sharing candies and stories, talking about their adventures and happiness. That night, Santa and the reindeer bid farewell to the snowman and returned to the Arctic village with the candies. On Christmas Day, Santa carefully placed the box of colorful candies beside Susie's bed. "Merry Christmas, Susie," he whispered, leaving the special gift in her room. The next morning, Susie woke up to find the gift. Opening the candies, she beamed with happiness. The candy's enchanting scent promised a year of good luck and happiness. Looking out the window, Susie saw snowflakes falling, and the whole village was filled with joy and happiness on this special day. She knew these were blessings from Santa and the reindeer, and resolved to share this joy with others. The Elf's Music Box. Depths of the Arctic, there lies a village filled with magic and joy, the home of the Christmas elves. The houses, built from blocks of ice and colored glass, are crystal clear and shimmer under the sun's rays. The elves are busy all year round, preparing Christmas gifts for children around the world. Ella is one of the most creative elves in the village, her mind always brimming with novel ideas, and she loves crafting unique gifts. This Christmas, she plans to make a special music box, not only beautiful, but also capable of playing delightful melodies. Busy in her workshop, Ella is visited by her friend Milo, who curiously asks,
Ella, what new and exciting thing are you making this year?
Ella replies excitedly,
I'm creating a special music box that plays music and changes colors with the melody.
Milo exclaims.
Wow, that's going to be an amazing gift.
During the process, Ella faces some challenges. Initially, the mechanical part of the music box doesn't work smoothly, preventing the little dancer from twirling with the music. Ella feels a bit disheartened, but doesn't give up. She decides to seek help from the village's most experienced mechanic, Oliver Elf. Oliver has a talent for repairing and creating complex mechanisms and offers Ella valuable advice and assistance. With Oliver's help, Ella improves the design of the music box, eventually enabling the little dancer to twirl gracefully with the music. Ella learns a lot from this experience and is grateful for Oliver's generous help. After days and nights of effort, the music box is finally complete. Its casing is engraved with exquisite patterns, and when opened, a tiny dancer twirls to the tune, with the box's sides twinkling in warm light. On the eve of Christmas night, all the elves gather in the village center, ready to load their gifts onto Santa's sleigh. Ella carefully places her music box into the gift bag and says to Santa,
I hope this music box brings joy and miracles to a special child.
Santa smiles gently, pats Ella on the head, and says,
I believe it will, Ella. Your creativity and thoughtfulness always bring surprises to the children.
As night falls, Santa sets off on his journey with his sleigh and reindeer. Ella stands in the snow, watching the sleigh disappear into the night sky, her heart filled with hope and happiness. In a distant town, a little girl named Lily discovers Ella's music box on Christmas morning. As she gently opens the box, a beautiful melody plays. The dancer twirls and the box twinkles with colorful lights. Lily cries out in surprise, Mom, come see this magical music box. How does it do that? Her mother comes over and says,
This is truly a miracle. It must have been made by a magical elf.
Back in her Arctic cabin, Ella watches all this through her magic window, her heart brimming with joy and satisfaction. She knows that her creation has brought not just a gift to a little girl, but a source of wonder and happiness. From that year on, Ella became the most popular gift maker in the elf village. Every Christmas, she uses her creativity and love to make unique gifts, bringing laughter and miracles to children around the world. In that small town, Lily's music box becomes her most precious treasure, reminding her of that special Christmas and her unseen friend, the magical elf. Ella. Santa's Candy Machine. In a distant small town, there lived a young boy full of passion for creating things, named Mike. Mike had curly brown hair, and his eyes always sparkled with curiosity and excitement. His room was filled with all sorts of parts and small inventions, ranging from automatic pencil sharpeners to glowing toy cars. Mike's town had an ancient legend that every Christmas, Santa Claus would make colorful gifts from a giant candy machine located at the North Pole, and then dispatch his reindeer sleigh team to distribute these gifts to children around the world. Mike believed deeply in this legend and eagerly anticipated Santa's gifts every Christmas. With Christmas just around the corner, Mike had already written a list of various wonderful invention materials he wished to receive. One night, as Mike was busy in his little workshop, a small elf wearing a green jacket suddenly appeared at his window. "Hey, little guy," the elf greeted excitedly. "I'm Spark, a little elf from the North Pole." Mike's eyes widened in surprise. "An elf from the North Pole? Really?" "Absolutely," Spark said with a smile. "I'm here on a special mission. Our candy machine is broken, and we need a smart young inventor to help fix it. If it's not repaired in time, this year's Christmas gifts won't be made." Mike felt both surprised and excited. "Me? I can help fix Santa's candy machine?" "Exactly," Spark nodded. "Your inventiveness is just what we need." Mike quickly gathered his tools and some invention materials he thought might be useful, and followed Spark on a magical journey to the North Pole. They rode a small spaceship powered by shining stars, traveling through the night sky towards the North Pole under the starlight. During the journey, Spark told Mike many stories about the North Pole and Santa Claus, and how the wonderful candy machine made gifts for children all over the world. Mike listened intently, his heart filled with anticipation and excitement. Upon reaching the North Pole, they arrived at a sparkling ice palace, home to Santa Claus and the elves. Santa warmly welcomed Mike, his white beard and red coat making him look like he had stepped out of a fairy tale. "Welcome to the North Pole, Mike," Santa said with a smile. "We've heard of your talent and really need your help." Mike replied excitedly, "Santa, I'll do my best to help." Santa took Mike to see the giant candy machine that had broken down. It looked like a huge candy castle with various pipes and wheels intertwined, but now it stood still, having lost its former vitality. Mike carefully examined the machine and identified some of the faults. He set to work, replacing damaged parts and adjusting the machine's settings. Thanks to Mike's efforts, the machine gradually began to regain its function, with colorful lights shining again and sweet music playing. "You did it, Mike!" Spark exclaimed happily. "We can start making gifts now," Santa also said with joy. Mike watched as the candy machine began to operate again, feeling a sense of accomplishment. He had helped repair the magical machine, ensuring that children all over the world would receive gifts on Christmas. When it was time for Mike to leave the North Pole and return home, Santa and the elves came to see him off. "Thank you, Mike," Santa said. "Your help made this Christmas even more special." On Christmas night, Mike lay in his bed, with the world outside blanketed in white snow. The stars twinkled outside the window, seemingly winking at him. Mike's heart was warm, knowing that his help ensured children worldwide would receive their dream Christmas gifts. Just as Mike was about to drift off to sleep, he heard a faint sound. Curiously, he got up and went to the window. Outside, he saw a familiar figure, Santa Claus, in his red suit and white beard. Santa stood on Mike's rooftop, next to his sleigh filled with gifts and the 8 lovely reindeer. Mike excitedly opened the window, and Santa waved at him. "Mike!" Santa's voice was warm in the cold air. "I have a special gift for you." Mike jumped out of bed, quickly putting on his coat and snow boots, and rushed out the door. He went up to the rooftop, standing in front of Santa, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. Santa took out a beautifully wrapped large box from the sleigh and handed it to Mike. The box was covered in shiny red and green paper with a golden bow on top. "This is your Christmas gift, Mike," Santa said with a smile. "Your kindness and intelligence have added more brilliance to this Christmas. This is your reward." Mike carefully opened the gift to find a delicate little wooden box. Inside the box was a brand new set of inventor's tools. These tools looked very advanced, some of which he had never seen before. "These are the latest inventor's tools, and I hope they help you create more wonderful things," Santa said gently. Tears filled Mike's eyes as he looked up at Santa. "Thank you, Santa. I will make good use of them." Santa patted Mike on the head with a smile. "I believe you will. Now, I have many more gifts to deliver. Goodbye, my little friend." As Santa's sleigh departed, Mike stood on the rooftop, watching the sleigh loaded with gifts and hope disappear into the starlight. He hugged the precious tool set tightly, his heart filled with warmth and gratitude. When Mickey returned to his cozy room and put down the gift, he knew this would be the most unforgettable Christmas of his life. He lay in bed, closed his eyes, his heart full of endless happiness and gratitude, and slowly drifted into a sweet dream. The Secret Star of Snowville. In the quaint town of Snowville, nestled under a blanket of snow and Christmas joy, lived a young girl named Lily. Her laughter was usually as infectious as the carols echoing through the streets, but this year, her smiles were few. Her father, a kind-hearted fisherman, had been lost at sea, leaving a void in the festive air. One evening, as the first snowflakes of the season began to fall, Lily sat gazing into the fireplace, her thoughts adrift like the dancing flames. Her grandmother, Mrs. Alara, sat beside her, her experienced hands nimbly moving through her knitting. Mrs. Alara, sensing Lily's gloom, set her knitting aside. "What's troubling you, my child?" she inquired with a gentle voice. Lily turned, her eyes reflecting the fire's glow. "Gran, do you think the stories about Stella, the magical Christmas star, are really true?" Mrs. Alara's eyes sparkled with wisdom and memories. "Stella has been a beacon of hope for as long as I can remember. She's as real as the joy we find in giving and caring for each other." Lily's face lit up with a mixture of hope and determination. "Then I'll ask Stella to bring Dad back." The next day, filled with a new sense of purpose, Lily prepared for her quest. She wrapped herself in a thick scarf, put on her warmest coat, and set out into the snow-covered streets of Snowville. As she passed the town square, bustling with preparations for Christmas, she saw Mr. Hobbles, the jolly baker known for his delicious Christmas treats. "Off on an adventure, Lily?" he asked, his eyes twinkling behind a dusting of flour. "I'm going to make a wish upon Stella," Lily declared, her breath turning to mist in the frosty air. "Then wish for a sprinkle of joy and a dash of laughter for our town." Mr. Hobbles chuckled, handing her a freshly baked gingerbread cookie for her journey. The path to the hilltop, where Stella was said to shine brightest, was steep and slippery. Lily trudged through the snow, her thoughts on her father. She remembered his stories of the sea, his laughter filling their home, and how he would lift her high to touch the stars. Reaching the summit, Lily found herself under a vast, starry sky. The town below was a tapestry of lights and shadows. She waited, her heart beating in tune with the quiet rhythm of the night. As midnight neared and doubt began to cloud her heart, the sky suddenly shimmered. There, emerging from the celestial depths, was Stella, radiant and magnificent, casting a soft, golden glow over Snowville. Lily closed her eyes, feeling the stars' warmth. "Stella, please guide my father home. Let him feel our love and find his way back to us," she whispered, her voice steady and clear. Out at sea, battling the relentless waves, her father, Ethan, noticed a peculiar glow in the distance. "Look, Ethan! Do you see that light?" shouted his first mate, Jack, over the roar of the storm. Ethan, squinting through the rain and spray, felt a surge of warmth in his heart. "That's no ordinary light, Jack. That's a beacon of home," he murmured, steering the boat towards the comforting glow. As dawn broke, Ethan's boat emerged from the mist, to the astonishment of the townsfolk gathered at the harbor. Lily, who had rushed down from the hilltop, ran into her father's open arms, tears of relief and joy streaming down her face. "Dad, you're here! Stella heard my wish!" she exclaimed, her voice muffled in his embrace. Ethan, holding his daughter tightly, replied with a voice thick with emotion. "It was your love and hope, Lily. They guided me through the darkest night." Mayor Thompson, witnessing this heartwarming reunion, declared, "Let this Christmas be a celebration of hope, love, and the miracles that bind us together." That Christmas Eve, as Snowville sparkled under Stella's gentle light, the townspeople gathered around the Christmas tree in the square. Lily and her father shared their story, a tale of unwavering faith and a miraculous return, rekindling a sense of wonder and belief in the hearts of all. From that magical year onwards, Stella's appearance became an annual reminder for the people of Snowville. Each Christmas, as they looked up at the starry sky, they remembered the power of hope, the strength of community, and the unbreakable bonds of love and family. The Little Christmas Hero. On the eve of a snowy Christmas, a little girl named Amy sat in her warm home, her eyes sparkling with excitement, waiting for Santa Claus. Amy had always dreamed of meeting Santa Claus and imagined the mysterious North Pole village and flying reindeer. "Mom, what do you think Santa will bring me?" Amy asked, her face full of expectation. Mom smiled and answered, "As long as you keep being a good girl, Santa will bring you the gift you most desire." Just as Amy was getting ready to go to bed, she heard a strange noise outside the window. Driven by curiosity, she ran to the window and saw a small reindeer wandering in the snow. The reindeer seemed lost and injured. Without hesitation, Amy put on her coat, ran out of the house, and approached the reindeer. She gently stroked it, saying, "Don't be afraid, little one. I will help you find your way home." Amy decided to help the little reindeer find its way home. Guided by the reindeer, Amy embarked on a wonderful journey. They passed through forests and over snowy mountains, finally arriving at a magical village hidden in the Arctic, Santa Claus's home. Amy and the little reindeer started their journey home. First, they passed through a forest covered in thick snow. In this mysterious forest, Amy and the reindeer encountered a group of talking animals. The animals were familiar with the little reindeer and joyfully surrounded it, asking about its adventure. "Where did you come from?" a curious little rabbit asked Amy. "I'm from the town. I found this little reindeer tonight. It was lost," Amy replied. "You are a very brave little girl. The animals of our forest will help you," said an old wolf gently. Then the animals helped Amy and the reindeer find their way to the North Pole. They told Amy that they needed to cross a mysterious snowy mountain to reach Santa Claus's village. During the journey across the snowy mountain, Amy and the reindeer faced some difficulties. A sudden blizzard blurred their vision and made the path indistinct. Amy held tightly to the reindeer's neck, giving each other courage. Just when they were about to give up, a mysterious snow mountain elf appeared. The elf, cloaked in silver and holding a glowing staff, said in a gentle voice, "Brave little girl and reindeer, do not be afraid. I will help you through this blizzard." The snow mountain elf waved her staff, and the blizzard gradually stopped, revealing a clear path. Amy and the reindeer continued their journey, filled with gratitude. Finally, they reached the edge of the Arctic. Here, they met a group of flying elves who danced around them, guiding them to Santa Claus's village. When Amy and the reindeer finally arrived at Santa Claus's home, they had experienced a series of adventures and challenges. Santa warmly welcomed Amy and the reindeer. "Welcome to the Arctic, Amy. Your kindness and courage have deeply touched me," Santa said with a smile. Amy asked in amazement, "Do you know my name, Mr. Santa Claus?" "Of course, Amy. I know the name of every child in the world," Santa answered gently. It turned out the little reindeer was one of Santa's helpers, who had gotten lost on the way to deliver gifts. Santa decided to make Amy an honorary Christmas little helper to assist him in delivering gifts that year. Amy and Santa Claus, riding a sleigh full of gifts, began her Christmas adventure. They traveled across the starry sky, visiting children around the world and bringing gifts and joy to every family. Amy felt an unprecedented sense of happiness and accomplishment. During the gift distribution, Amy encountered various interesting challenges. Sometimes she had to cleverly figure out how to get large gifts down small chimneys. Other times, she had to move quietly to avoid waking sleeping children. Each successful gift delivery filled Amy's heart with joy and satisfaction. "This is so magical, Mr. Santa Claus!" Amy exclaimed excitedly. "I never thought I could be part of such an adventure." Santa laughed and replied, "Amy, your help made this Christmas night even more special. Your kind and helpful spirit deepens the meaning of this holiday." As Christmas night was drawing to a close, Santa took Amy home and gave her a special gift, a magical snowflake that remembered her wonderful journey. The snowflake would glow every Christmas, reminding Amy of her incredible experience. "This is a special gift for you, Amy," Santa said. "Whenever you see it glow, you'll remember how special a little girl you are." Amy went back home, lay in bed, her heart full of happiness and gratitude. She knew this would be the most unforgettable Christmas of her life. From then on, every Christmas, Amy would take out the magical snowflake and reminisce about her incredible adventure. Her heart was filled with love and courage, knowing that with love and bravery, anyone could be a Christmas hero. The Magical Adventure of the Christmas Elf. In the heart of the bustling Christmas village at the North Pole, where the air was always filled with the scent of gingerbread and the sound of jingling bells, lived an adventurous little elf named Elfie. Elfie, with his sparkling green eyes and eternally curious nature, was no ordinary elf. On a snowy night, Elfie secretly slipped into Santa's grand workshop, his eyes widening in awe at the sight of toys being made and magic filling the air. "Elfie, what are you doing here?" Santa's voice boomed in the vast room bustling with toys and busy elves. "I just wanted to see the magic, Santa," Elfie replied, his voice a mix of awe and mischief. Santa, with a twinkle in his eye, warned, "This place is not for playing, Elfie. You must leave now." But driven by curiosity, Elfie didn't listen. Trying to hide, Elfie found himself in a large sack of gifts, which was soon loaded onto Santa's sleigh and taken far away from the North Pole. When Elfie finally emerged, he found himself in a busy city, vastly different from his home. The lights, the crowds, and the sounds were all new to him. Lost and uncertain, Elfie encountered a lonely child named Jamie, wandering the streets and gazing at the festive decorations. "Who are you?" Jamie asked in surprise upon seeing an elf. "I'm Elfie. I come from the North Pole, but I'm lost," Elfie replied. Together, they roamed the city, helping those in need and spreading joy. From assisting an elderly lady with her groceries to singing carols outside a hospital, they brought smiles to many faces. Their journey was not easy. They faced cold nights and had to outwit a grumpy shopkeeper who didn't believe in Christmas magic, but together, they found strength and friendship. As Christmas Eve approached, Elfie knew he had to return. With Jamie's help and a bit of North Pole magic from his pocket, they managed to contact Santa. Santa, impressed by Elfie's adventures and good deeds, came to take him home. He was deeply impressed by Elfie and Jamie's kindness and invited Jamie to visit the Christmas village at the North Pole. Back at the Christmas village, Elfie and Jamie received a hero's welcome. They shared their adventure stories and the friends they made in the city. On Christmas Eve, as they sat by the fire, sipping hot cocoa, Santa said, "Elfie, you have learned the true spirit of Christmas. It's not just about where you are, but what you do and the joy you bring to others." Elfie's heart was filled with warmth and pride. He looked at Jamie beside him and said gratefully, "Without you, I might never have found my way home." Jamie smiled back. "Elfie, it was you who taught me the true meaning of Christmas. I've never experienced so much joy and friendship before." That Christmas night, a magnificent aurora appeared in the sky above the Christmas village. All the elves and residents came out to admire this beautiful miracle. Elfie and Jamie stood hand in hand among the crowd, their eyes sparkling, hearts filled with wonder and magic. The next morning, Santa took Elfie and Jamie on a sleigh ride around the entire Christmas village, letting Jamie experience the magic and wonders of the North Pole. They visited the toy-making workshop, fed the reindeer, and even skied on the Arctic ice mountains. As Jamie was about to leave the North Pole and return home, Elfie gave him a special gift, a small snow globe with a miniature Christmas village inside. "This is to thank you, Jamie. Whenever you miss the North Pole and our adventure, you can look at this snow globe," Elfie said. Jamie hugged Elfie tightly, tears twinkling in his eyes. "I will never forget this wonderful journey and our friendship." After Santa took Jamie home, Elfie returned to his daily work, but his life was never the same. His heart was filled with memories of adventure and dreams for the future. Whenever Christmas came, Elfie would always remember his adventures with Jamie and the special Christmas night they spent together. He learned that friendship and kindness are the most precious gifts in the world, a lesson that would stay with him for life.